So I'm a literature professor. I teach African American literature. I teach literature around sexuality, literature around loss and mourning. Um, and these are, so in those classes, in addition to introducing my students to a range of literary and other cultural texts, it's to teach them how to think critically about the world. And I feel like if I can enable my students or armor them with critical thinking, they can use that in all the different professions they go on to after Cornell, but also it's a way of being self-reflective and self-reflexive, right? So these are tools that will help them to think critically about the world in which they live, but also examine their own lives in a critical way. I can't think of, in our public life, in contemporary public life, truth be told, I can't think of another space than the classroom, the humanities classroom, where open, critical exchange of ideas take place without it quickly devolving into a shouting match, some partisan, ready-made, packaged idea, being introduced, right? Where people could be vulnerable. That space, we have to not just preserve that space, but institutionally support it so that it thrives, because increasingly it's being squeezed out in public life, right? All the more why the humanities matter, and why they should be fully supported in an academic. We need kind of leadership at this institution and across universities to have vision and commitment to the humanities, right? So for instance, here at Cornell, as Cornell is expanding, we know that the campus in New York City is going to be a major undertaking. We know that Cornell has launched programs internationally across the globe, right? But those programs aren't humanities oriented, right? And I think one way, so say the tech campus, how can we make the humanities integral to that kind of endeavor, right? So although it's a campus dedicated to science and technology, why not bring humanists who are also committed to science and technologies? So when Cornell is taking on new ventures, I think it's imperative that we ask from the outset, how can we incorporate the humanities in these different ventures?